Yeah, that's I never thought of it that way. That's very interesting. Man, you're peeling back the layers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And here I am just thinking about like just like the doggy style configuration. All right.
Well, I was thinking about that too, but
Hey guys, welcome to the This Week in Anime podcast. I'm Preetam,
I'm Alan.
and
We
we
are
are
the
the
Anime
Anime
Philosophers.
Philosophers.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode in This Week in Anime. We've got, as always, like an action-packed episode today. We're gonna continue with Ancient Magus Bride, Record of Grancrest Wars, Darling in the Franxx, Violet Evergarden, and 3 episodes of Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, I mean, this one is just jam packed with good stuff, so definitely tune in. Alright, guys, we're back this week, and we're continuing to watch The Ancient Magus Bride. This week we're watching episode 17. The title is Look Before You Leap.
Okay, and just as usual these days, there's no description, so
Yeah,
we're going into it blind. I guess we're not looking before we leap.
absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Alright, we just finished up The Ancient Magus Bride, episode 17, Look Before You Leap.
Yep. An interesting episode again. So I thought, at least for the past few episodes, there's been kind of these parallel stories being told of other people, like other people's relationships and stuff. And as kind of like an analogy to Chise and Elias's relationship, I feel.
That's interesting.
And maybe they each show like a different aspect of their interaction. Because we saw that with the poet and that vampire.
That's right.
A couple episodes back. So I don't know. I think these are all side stories if you really think about it. But maybe they show different aspects of both Elias and Chise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I think in this episode, Elias starts to poke and wonder what family is, right?
Right.
So I think that was an interesting dialogue, him with that little brother, Ethan.
Yeah.
You can see, like, it's exactly like what he says. He really doesn't understand human society and social constructs like that. And so that's why he asks him, like, as superficially, he says, is it just a group of people that stay together for a while and help each other out? And Ethan says something, I think, significant, which is, like, it matters that it's a certain person.
Yeah.
It's not just anyone.
Yeah. He said, like, you make it sound like it could be anyone.
Right. So
and it's not necessarily a blood relation either.
Yeah.
So
there's something more to it. Something that's hard to put into words.
Yeah. I think that was very telling that Elias could not fully understand what a family meant.
Yeah.
Something so basic.
Right.
But.
And I think, yeah, like you said, I feel like it is reflecting. It's just a mirror of Elias's growing relationship with Chise, because perhaps they're both starting to think of each other as family now.
Yeah.
And so I guess Elias is starting to discover, hey, do I see Chise as almost like a family member? It matters that it's her and not anyone else, right? So more than just as his apprentice.
Yeah, true. And Chise likewise is seeing Elias as a new family, I guess.
Right.
Since she lost her original one.
Right.
Yeah, so they're both growing with every episode, I guess, with each one of these side stories and adventures.
Exactly. Yeah, and she continues to make friends.
She continues to make friends. Yeah.
That's great to see. So I guess she has 2 friends now, Alice and.
Yeah, and Stella.
Stella, right.
Yeah.
And she's got an order of sweets coming up for payment.
True, yeah. That was interesting, actually. Like, what did you
Right.
think of that part where Elias possessed Chise a little bit and
Yeah,
asked,
that was really interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
asked for payment, like,
Yeah.
what would you give for that?
Yeah. Like, how will you compensate us?
Yeah,
And I think that theme of compensation was there, because as they were going to find her brother, when they asked for help from those magical beings, they had to provide
true,
some sort of compensation, right?
true, yeah.
And it's exactly what Ashen Eye says at the very end. He says, what will you pay me? And he calls her a have-not, which is very
Have
interesting.
not, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Ashen Eye is so he seems like an evil character at
Right.
first, like superficially, but I
Yeah.
think he might actually be like a very
Yeah.
wise character.
He reminds me of like one of those mischievous Zen masters or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, through like a story or through like a very weird setting, he delivers a powerful message, like
exactly.
words of meaning in this case.
Yeah.
And be careful what you wish for, I guess, or be careful what
Yeah.
words you say.
Yeah. I like what he says. Words have a soul to them.
Have a soul to them, yeah.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yeah. Great lesson.
There is one side story real quick. I don't know if you've ever read a book by a Japanese author called I think it was A Message from Water,
No.
where he would like write messages
Oh yeah. Yeah.
to
No. Yeah. I know this guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like look at the water crystals after he froze the water
Right.
based on the message that he wrote. And I mean, I don't know how scientifically replicable this is or anything, but the water crystals, the beauty of the water crystals, their symmetry and everything, was directly correlated to
Mm.
like the goodwill of the message directed at the water.
Yeah. That's a great connection. I didn't even think about that one.
So, yeah, I mean, I was just
Yeah.
reminded of
Fascinating.
that.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good point. I'll place a link in the description
yeah,
below if
yeah.
anyone's interested in checking that out. It's pretty crazy experiment actually.
It's a crazy experiment. Yeah,
Yeah, and there's some like really nice high resolution photos of the crystals. And
yeah,
you can see it's like either very chaotic or very ordered depending on the
yeah,
word. So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Great.
yeah. Good stuff.
All right. So let's move on to the next series, which is Record of Grancrest War.
Sounds good.
All right, so moving on to episode 5 of Record of Grancrest War. Title is Forest of Eternal Darkness. And
Sounds foreboding.
yeah, it does. Alright, so let's quickly read the summary. Pledging to serve Villar, Theo heads to Artuk with Silica. The first task Villar gives them is to govern the Forest of Eternal Darkness, a territory ruled by vampires. When Theo and Silica head to the forest, they see the shadow of an ominous-looking woman.
Okay,
Alright?
let's jump into it, I guess.
Let's do it. Yeah. Alright, we just finished up Record of Grancrest War, Episode 5, Forest of Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, and we got some more non-human characters, I guess, this time. Most of the characters so far have been human with like maybe some special powers, but the Vampire King and the Werewolf Queen seem definitely not human. So
That's right.
yeah,
And then we also introduced to the witches now. It looks like
the witch. Yeah,
two sides, White Witch, Black Witch. They look more human though. Maybe humans with special powers or something.
true. Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, I thought the vampire thing was like very similar to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yep. even when he played like the organ,
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if there's that much to say about it. I think.
Yeah, this episode was really, to me, it was like very average.
Yeah, same.
I thought so. Okay, so like the redeeming quality is that the fight was pretty good. Like
Right.
I thought the fight was like it was like pretty intense and well animated. But like in terms of story, I thought this was kind of random almost.
Right.
It's not super clear how it connects. I guess there's that. It looks like the Vampire King maybe trying to bring back chaos. So
Yeah.
it looks like he could have a role to play here. But overall, like at least at the beginning, and it just seemed very, very out of place, like very sudden.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I guess the motivations of the Vampire King seem to be more of like keeping a balance of power. Like he doesn't want any emperor, any single party to become too strong.
Right.
And
Yeah.
maybe
So I
that's,
guess maybe that's a little bit interesting.
but yeah,
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. I guess characters like there's a balance between chaos and order here,
yeah,
and they're proponents on both sides.
yeah. And he
Both
wants
sides
to
of the
keep
line.
it. He wants to keep it balanced, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. For him, I guess he needs chaos in order to go on, keep living.
Yeah,
Uh,
but not too much.
but not too much. Yeah. The other thing was, last podcast I mentioned that I thought the pacing was really fast
Yeah,
for this anime, and even this episode I thought it was pretty fast too.
yeah,
Like there's it's very sudden switches. For like after they were able to rescue the werewolves,
yeah,
it immediately cut to like Theo being like lord of Dracula's castle basically.
yeah, yeah,
Looks like he was assigned that from Villar to like
yeah.
kind of keep things in order around the forest of darkness. But little things like that. Like it was a very quick cut to that.
Right, right. That's
So
true.
I think it's very easy to lose your place and not really know what's going on.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, even now, I sometimes forget what the names,
Yeah.
all the different characters' names
There's
and
all
stuff.
sorts
So.
of names, and they're only shown for like less than
Yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah. There's no like background that much for any of them. So.
Right. Yeah. Overall, like I still think Silica's an interesting character. In this episode, we didn't really get to see much of her at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like this episode fell a little bit flat for me.
Yep.
Let's hope that it can pick itself up next week.
Yeah. Let's hope so.
All right. So I guess we're gonna move on now
Yep.
to the next series, which is Darling in the Franxx. Hell
Darling in
yeah!
the Franxx.
I've been looking forward to this series this week.
Yeah, I need some Freudian references, dude.
Yeah, I need more Darling in the Franxx. Oh man, need more 02.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's move on to that.
Yep, let's do that. All right, episode 4, Flap Flap. Interesting title. With the squad still feeling the aftershocks of the previous mission, things come to a head as the leaders run out of patience and decide to summon Strelitzia back to the front lines.
Okay,
All right, so
that's cool.
hopefully
I guess we get to
Strelitzia will
see
be
some more
piloted by
Strelitzia, some more 02, and hopefully we get to see Hiro as
02
well,
and
piloting with her.
and what's his name, the main character?
Yeah, Hiro. Yeah.
Hiro, yeah.
All right.
Let's watch it.
Okay, we just finished up Darling in the Franxx episode 4. Flap flap.
Yep, yep. So, we saw a continuation of the sexual references, of course, from
Yeah.
from the previous episodes.
You gotta love it.
A lot of it, yeah, you gotta love it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
yeah,
The dialogue was pretty hilarious.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. I like it though, like, looking behind, beyond that,
Right.
the sexual references on the surface. I like that. Basically, when 02 was about to leave, right, because they were calling her back. Even though she wanted to stay with Hiro, in the beginning, Hiro, like for a while, Hiro has been like a guy without much resolve, really, like very
Mm-hmm.
passive. And only when he showed resolve in the end, right? Like when he told her how he really felt, you
Yeah.
know, when he showed the determination to fight and determination, and that he wasn't afraid of her because she wasn't human or anything like that.
Yeah.
In a way, like that's when he became a real man.
That's
You can
true.
think of it that way. At least that's how I was thinking of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. He's
And
finally a man. He can
finally a
finally,
man.
finally co-pilot.
Yeah, yeah.
He's finally ready.
Yeah, and that's
That's
what.
his rite of passage.
Yeah, and I think that's when she turned around, right?
Right. Yeah, that's I never thought of it that way. That's very interesting. Man, you're peeling back the layers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And here I am just thinking about like just like the doggy style configuration. All right.
Well, I was thinking about that too, but
All right. Okay, so yeah, moving on to some other stuff. Uh, I'm interested in who is this Papa guy.
yeah, that's
They
true.
keep referring to him as
That
Papa.
is true.
But it looks like he's the guy pulling pulling the strings.
Yeah,
And that whole organization with those weird masks and stuff,
yeah,
sitting around and discussing things, it actually really reminds me of Seal from Neon Genesis Evangelion.
right, right.
Like
One
those
more.
guys behind those like
Yeah,
display pillars
yeah,
in Evangelion. So, one more thing that's similar
yeah.
with Eva there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things still that we don't know. Yeah, you said Papa, you said those guys. We
Right.
also don't know why Zero Two has Klaxosaurus blood. Like, how does that happen? Like,
Right.
is there like a Klaxosaurus DNA introduced in her somehow,
Right.
or
Is she a scientific experiment or something?
yeah, we don't know much about that either.
Yeah. It's weird
It's
because what in that discussion with Papa and everyone, they were discussing how they're gonna find a compatible stamen for her, right?
right.
And I think they mentioned that they had it taken care of or something.
Mm,
That they had found a stamen for her. So I don't know who the other stamen is.
okay. Yeah, that's true
Um,
actually.
and also because they seem confident that they'll be able to find her a partner.
Mm,
So it's going to be interesting to see that conflict between Hiro and then, what Papa's or whatever's plans are
yeah,
for who should pilot with Zero Two. And because it looks like they still want to bring her to the front lines, right? So
that's right.
it could be that Hiro has to leave this little city or colony or whatever and go out and fight.
Yep.
Not sure.
Yep. Yeah, we'll find out. Um, but anyway, it seems they're very compatible. So
Yeah.
I think Papa and the 9 wise men will take that into
Yeah.
account.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm actually really enjoying this anime.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the production is good, the sound is good. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just fun to watch.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, and there, I think there, it's you can look past the superficial stuff. I
Yeah.
think there is something there,
I
something
think so.
here.
I think so.
Yeah, good stuff. Really looking forward to next week.
Yeah, same man.
All right, moving on to Violet Evergarden.
Episode
Again,
4.
yeah, we're huge fans of this show, and we have high expectations for episode 4.
Yep.
So, just the episode title, because there's no summary here. You won't be a tool, but a person worthy of that name.
Very nice. I like the continuation from episode 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's watch Violet grow some more.
Let's do it.
All right, we just finished Violet Evergarden episode 4.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, wow.
Great anime so far, and it's keeping its high quality.
Yeah, it's on a different level.
Yeah. So right before we get into like the deep stuff, I'd love to say how beautiful the setting is. What we've said is about previous episodes, but I also like the setting in this episode. You know, I think this was the first episode that had both an opening and an ending. Opening ending song. And I like the poetry, if you noticed, in both the opening and in the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
it's very relevant to the show.
Very relevant to the show, exactly, yeah. And then throughout the whole episode, you know, I liked the setting, like the beautiful village, the flowers in the village, in the view of nature and everything around there. And you had also, like, everyone there was a really friendly farm people, you know?
Yeah.
So I've always really liked that vibe. So so that set up like a pretty nice setting for the episode.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I really like in this episode how Violet's starting to show some sass.
Yeah.
Obviously it's probably not intentional on her side, but it comes across that way.
Yeah.
It was hilarious when Iris was like at the very beginning when she said, "I get it," and then Violet's like, "Oh, you mean that kind of I get it," which means I totally don't get it at all.
Yeah, I like that too. It seemed like it was intentional, but yeah, like you said, it's probably not intentional.
Oh man, so good.
Yeah, because it started like she's understanding like the deeper meaning behind words.
Right.
Not what's right on the surface.
Exactly, yeah. Just the way that she's so blunt about it, though.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, but also you can contrast that. I also thought it's pretty funny when she takes some things too literally, like
right.
You know, when Iris's mother put like a fake name on the request, she's like, "Oh, that makes your request invalid. Thanks for your time. We're going back."
Time to leave.
Or like when Iris's dad was like, "Oh, you know, you should have dinner with us. It's like I don't think we have anything super special," and she was like, "It's okay, you know, I don't need anything special."
Yeah.
Yes.
He was like kind of taken aback. He's like, huh?
Yes.
Oh wow, that's really good. And I like how, you know, at the end when after she wrote the letter for Iris, she's like, "I'll send you the invoice later." She's like, "What? You're gonna make me pay?" She's like, "Yeah, it's my job."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love those light moments.
Yeah, you gotta love it, yeah. And it's funny because like she says it like in a very like
very serious,
with a very calm expression.
Yeah,
like her face is very composed. Oh man.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, really good. And yeah, so Iris's whole story with Eamon, I think, very interesting. I think it gave her one more hint on what "I love you" really means.
Yeah.
That, you know, it takes a lot of courage to say it.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of trying to explain something. Yeah. It's like you're not explaining exactly what it is, but you explain like the fact that it takes courage to say that. You can't really put that into words, you know, by trying to explain what that means. But the fact that it takes courage to say it, all of a sudden makes it something really important, right? Something really precious to you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be afraid of saying that.
Yeah.
So revealing that to someone else, it's like revealing a part of some like deep part of yourself to another person. So I think Violet can slowly start to comprehend that.
I think so. Yeah. And I like the flashback at the end, where, you know, when Iris said that, "Oh, I was named after the flowers," and you saw like the whole field of iris flowers.
Irises, yeah.
And Violet was also named after a flower, as it turns out, by the Major. And I liked at the end, you know, like the title of this episode is "Not a Tool, but a Person Worthy of That Name."
Yeah, it was awesome because it was right at the end of that cutscene to the violet flower, and immediately cut to that. Yeah, that was beautifully done. Yeah, very well. Yeah, the cinematism is just
Amazing,
incredible.
yeah. Yeah, dude, unbelievable.
Yeah. I
And
also like.
yeah,
Yeah, I also like since Violet, since she doesn't really understand things so well, in a way she's sort of seeing things with the clearest eyes.
yeah,
Uh, so like it's very interesting when you hear her observations about emotions and feelings. Like when she's talking to Iris, when Iris is really upset,
yeah,
I'm just like, how could you tell them all this stuff?
yeah,
Iris says to Violet, "You really don't get it at all, do you? Like you don't
yeah,
understand people at all." She was like, "Yeah, I really don't. It's too hard.
yeah,
Emotions are so complex. Feelings are so complex.
yeah,
Sometimes people contradict themselves. Sometimes they don't say anything. Sometimes they don't tell the truth.
yeah.
It's like, how do you even understand that?"
Yeah,
And then since you never think of it that way, but it's very true.
yeah,
Like how complex like relationships are and words are is so complicated.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, dude. That's why like the art of being a writer is really an art, a great art form in itself, because
Yeah,
it's uh, it's definitely not easy putting that into words.
yeah,
So, and I think Iris also could kind of see it from Violet's perspective by the end of the episode. Like in the beginning of the episode, she was like, "I don't really get Violet at all."
right.
But when Violet opened up to her and said, I got this job in order to understand what "I love you" means,
Yeah,
um, I think Iris. I think probably at that point Iris understood Violet's motivations maybe better than Violet herself.
yeah, probably.
So
Yeah. So it
yeah,
looks like Violet's slowly making connections with the other dolls, slowly
yeah,
starting to make some friends.
yeah. I like it. Yeah, Iris was like the most skeptical one when
Right.
Violet
That's
first
right.
joined, and now they're definitely friends. So
Yeah, that's great to see.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, what else can I say? Great show.
great show, man. Yeah, I can't wait to see her grow more and understand human nature more.
Yeah. Looking forward to next week, as always.
Yep, yep.
All right, now it's time. It's time. We always, reserve the best for last.
Right, Freedom's favorite anime.
And finally, this week we're going to get back to Devilman Crybaby.
Yep,
So I think we're going to do 2 or 3 episodes.
yep,
So I guess we can do them back to back and then discuss afterward.
yep. Sounds good.
All right, so we just finished a triple packed episode there. Episodes 3,
Yeah.
4, and 5 of Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah.
And man, they just don't let off the gas, do they?
I still haven't caught my breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit more intense this week because we usually only do one episode. So
Right.
doing 3 of them back to back was like
Yeah.
your adrenaline just stays jacked for like an hour, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we had to catch up, so
Yeah.
yeah. So wow, dude. Where to begin?
Yeah. Yeah, this show really is an art because
Yeah.
it's really in a unique class of its own.
Mm.
So the first episode 3 started off with the rappers,
Right.
and like I think both of us are pretty huge fans of those rappers
Yeah.
because it was some good stuff. Their lyrics are really good.
Yeah.
Their rhythm is good. The beat's good. Just super unique. Like you wouldn't see that kind of stuff in anime. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very artistic for sure.
Yeah. So I really like that. I like some of what they said. I think they said like weapons and drugs give you like momentary satisfaction,
Right.
but this like I'd rather use hip hop as my weapon.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Which
good.
is-
That was
I
good.
like that. So.
Yeah.
And going along with that, before we get into other themes, like there's like an interesting there's some interesting social commentary in this anime. I find like if you look at those rappers, they're slightly more maybe more from a kind of ghetto kind of
Background.
community and background, and they have some tattoos and stuff. And so there's that telling scene in one of the episodes where someone calls them out. They they fake as though those guys have a gun or something, and as soon as the cops see like their
Right.
tattoos,
Right.
they freak out. They pull guns on them. They tell them to get down and stuff. So you can definitely see,
Mm.
um, potentially some social commentary there.
Yeah, yeah. Because the way they look and stuff, they get
Yeah,
targeted more.
exactly. Like that kid had something in his pocket. They're like, he has a
Right.
gun, but
Yeah.
it's really just a recorder.
Just recorder.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty, pretty telling. So
Right. Right. Yeah, I like those guys actually. They're
yeah,
very
they're good guys. Yeah,
yeah, they're very good guys. From what we know.
yeah,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
So yeah, I mean, so jumping around a little bit since we're talking about those rappers, I also really liked that rapper guy, his rap song to Miko
yeah,
in
yeah.
episode 4, I think. Um, yeah, that was really heartfelt, you know.
Hmm.
And I think Miko in the beginning, she was like, "Oh, this ne'er do well trying to
Right.
seduce me or whatever." But after she heard that his song and his lyrics and stuff, she started crying. So
Yeah,
it really moved her.
resonated with her. Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think she was in that same predicament
yeah, I think so.
with her versus Mickey. Like she was never quite as good as Mickey.
Right.
She even had to change her name from Mickey to Miko,
I know. Yeah,
so people wouldn't get her mixed up. So
yeah, yeah. It's also interesting. Like it's weird what happened to her at the end of episode 4. Like they went to the club again, and
right,
it seems like both she and the rapper guy got possessed. Right.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, and so now she's super
She's
fast.
just super fast. I don't know if she has the same control over her demon that Akira does,
Yeah,
but maybe I don't know.
we'll see.
Yeah,
And the other dude too.
the other dude too. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
but we don't know that much about what the effects on
yeah,
him are.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, wow. So yeah, back at in episode 3,
yeah,
there's just a few things I wanted to mention. One is we're starting to see tension mounting between Rio and Akira.
definitely.
Whereas before they seemed like just friends and stuff.
Yeah,
Now it looks like the relationship is more nuanced than that.
yeah,
They're starting to go head to head now.
yeah. I think it's interesting because Rio is much more brutal, dude. Like you would think of
Yeah.
Akira as the devil man, right? But but Akira really has a human heart, whereas
Yeah.
Rio, like to keep Akira's identity a secret, he will kill anyone.
Yeah.
He's
And I think that's it's exactly that, which is the main theme of the show.
right,
We'll see as we get to the end. But I think that it's very interesting because they place Devilman, like demons and humans, right up next to each other. And when
right,
you really look at them, like the demon looks hideous and stuff. So
yeah,
and the human looks like some normal person. But
yep,
if you look at what they're capable of, and some of the actions that they do, it sometimes the line starts blurring between
definitely, yeah,
humans and demons.
yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, demons seem more like an exaggerated version of humans
yeah,
in that sense.
yeah, because like Rio has this very he's willing to do anything.
Yeah,
Ends justifies the means kind of
exactly, yeah,
thing. Like remember when he illegally entered into Nagasaki's house.
yeah, yeah. That was
He's
brutal,
like,
man.
he's like, do you really think we can, stick by the law and stuff
Yeah,
and still get, still fight him? So,
yeah. Holy shit.
and he just blew up that house, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude,
Yeah, he's pretty brutal.
he's very brutal.
I have a lot of questions about Rio. What
Yeah,
are his true motivations? What's his backstory? Because in episode 4,
yeah,
when Akira's parents, they're at the airport to pick up his parents, like he says, like I've never had parents.
exactly. Yeah,
So I don't know what's going on with him.
yeah, yeah. He's more of an unknown than Akira, definitely.
Yeah. It's like, where does he get all that money from
Yeah,
to have that huge penthouse?
yeah, and why he has like such great hacking skills, dude.
Yeah, like,
Like he
you don't
has
know much about him.
everyone's phones and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing. He doesn't even trust Akira
No.
or or his friends or anything. That's why he hacks their phones. Remember when Akira comes back? He's like, yeah, Mickey doesn't remember anything.
Yeah.
And he plays a recording.
Nothing can escape. Nothing escapes him, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting character.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Rio's more of a demon than
the demons.
You think. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, maybe he's been researching on demons for so long, dude, that
we'll see. He's lost his human heart.
Maybe. So yeah, I mean, lots of crazy stuff, man. So the demons, it looks like they're coming after Akira, because like the demon that Akira controls, I guess, called Amon, right?
Amon, yeah.
And he seems to be like a really,
high-ranked,
big cheese demon.
Yeah.
So, and in order to go after him, they go after his loved ones, right? So we saw that in episode 3, they went after Nikki. In episode 4, they went after his parents.
That's right.
Episode 4 was very brutal, dude. Like that scene.
It was.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's Devilman Crybaby, man.
Yeah.
It was some brutal stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I don't know, like, I thought that they were all led by that woman, Selene, right?
Right.
And at the end of episode 5, it looks like she was finally defeated.
Yeah.
But somehow I think there's gonna be more devils going after Akira, even though she's gone.
Yeah, I think with Selene, it's kind of interesting. Akira at the end asks Rio, "Are demons capable of love?"
Yeah.
And then Rio's like, "No, they're just beasts driven by destructive and aggressive urges." Yeah. It's kind of funny because Freud would kind of would kind of say, he has this whole drive theory and stuff, and he talks about the aggressive instinct and stuff. It seems like a very pure, purely id kind of situation, like we mentioned before.
Right.
But anyway, so he's talking about can demons love and stuff, and then Akira says, "Well, it looked like love to me."
Yeah.
What happened between Selene and that other guy?
Yeah.
He basically gave up his life for her.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So again, more nuance. The lines are blurring.
Yeah.
It looks like demons are more than that. They may be capable of something more than that too.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Amon was very close to Selene before he possessed Akira, so...
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I like the portrayal of Akira's instincts getting totally jacked up in episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and I think it's also interesting there, as a commentary, Rio's commentary of human vices.
Right.
Because
it's a way to stop thinking.
A way to stop thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
Like alcohol, gambling, and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you better learn.
Yeah.
He throws some wads of cash at him. Get back to normal by next week.
Yes. by using your vices to forget.
Yes.
And remember when he was walking in that red light district?
Right.
He looks completely gone, dude. He's
like a zombie. He's drooling.
Oh man.
You can only see the whites of his eyes.
Yeah.
He just stumbles and.
What was that? This reminds me of a funny scene in Naruto, actually. Another anime we both have watched. Remember when Naruto first starts to train with Jiraiya? And Jiraiya teaches him, "Oh, you must avoid the 3 sins of the shinobi," or something.
Yeah.
He's like, alcohol, women, and money. And he's like, "Okay, I'll try hard." And he comes back, and Jiraiya is in
he's in a brothel.
In a brothel, drunk,
drinking,
with, all the
and
money.
Spending all his money. Yeah.
Jiraiya knows the art of how to forget, I guess.
Yeah. Good. No, man. Remember, it's research.
It's research. That's right.
It's research for his next book.
Oh man.
That's how you do it, man.
Yep. Hey, his books were bestsellers, so
They were really good.
Kakashi read them all the time.
Yeah. Number one fan.
Yep.
All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff, yeah.
I think this is the halfway point for Devilman, so we got 5 more episodes.
Yeah. We'll see if they can wrap it up in the next 5 episodes, or if there
or
will be
whether it's
a second
another
season.
season. Yeah.
Either way, looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think that about wraps up this episode of the podcast. Again, if you guys like the show, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, open up the description. We got timestamps for you for every series, so you can just follow along with the series you're watching this season.
Yep, sounds good. And until next time, guys, stay inspired.